What is going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 146 of Littleroot Lessons. As always, I'm your host, Carter Noble, joined by our fantastic co-host, Carl Wilkin. Sup, dude?
I've had a very fun weekend off from work. That never happens. And
I, on the other hand, am without my car.
yeah, you can say so this weekend I went down back towards where I grew up to.
I was gonna say you went essentially home, right?
Yeah, I went essentially home, but I didn't visit anybody but one person. And so I'm doing a fun little gift for my father-in-law, and I needed all the tools that my buddy has at his place. It's not even done yet. Everything's in the back of the car still. I just have to unload it here after we get done doing this. And
Gotcha.
I got to work on that tomorrow and finish them all up. But project is going really well. Just in case my father-in-law listens to this, I'm not going to say what it is.
Can I say?
No.
It's a gift.
There you go. Yeah. That's about as
I helped. Kind of.
That's about as far
really.
as much as we're going to get into it, but it is. I'm very excited for this gift. It is really cool. They turned out really cool, and I'm super excited.
I'm excited to see how it turned out. So my car story. I lost heat in my car because the Ford Escapes have a blower motor issue, but not to the point where Ford is going to recall it to fix it, even though it's the same blower motor that's in the F-150s that have been recalled.
Goodness.
So it started about a month ago. I'm like, oh, it's not that bad. I'll be fine. It's just intermittently going out, and then
it
this past week, my heat just died.
Just dies.
And,
yeah.
We're supposed to get weather this week.
I was like, if you are unaware of how the U.S. is handling winter, it is cold pretty much everywhere.
Yeah.
I think it has hit freezing temperatures pretty much across the entire nation. I even think Florida is just like in the low 40s at some point.
Insane. So yeah, it's been cold and miserable, and driving 40 minutes to work one way at 5 a.m. with no heat doesn't make things better.
Yeah. As someone who used to not have heat in their car, I would walk in the wintertime because I just didn't want to get in the car. There's no point. You can still sit there and warm the car up, and it's not going to help you any.
Yeah. It's been fun. So I took it in Thursday. He's like, yeah, I can get this done today. And then he goes to look at it. I'm like, all right, it'll be a couple hours. I'll just hang out and play Snap on my phone, whatever. And about 20 minutes later, he comes up. He's like, hey, you might want to come look at this. I'm like, oh, no. That's never a good sign. So he pulls it up. He's like, so the job details say I need 3 people for this job, and I'm the only one here. So it's going to have to be tomorrow before we can get it done. I'm like, all right, whatever. No big deal. I understand. You're one person. You can't do the job of 3 people when
yeah.
it takes, someone else to run the shop while you're working on this with the other person, because you both have to do something at the same time on opposite ends of the car.
Yeah.
So I understand. I get it. So Friday I take it up. He's like, yeah, I'll call you this afternoon when it's done. I don't hear anything, so I called him about 5. I said, hey, what's up? So they're working on it now. It's like a 3-hour job. We're not going to be able to finish it today, so we'll finish it Saturday. Cool. I call at 1 on Saturday, and they're like, yeah, we haven't been able to touch it. We've been busy, so we'll get to it first thing Monday. It's like, awesome.
Guys, come on now. You told me it was going to be done this day, and then you put it on the back burner when you're not supposed to. Come on, guys.
So I'm expecting, hopefully, some kind of big discount on this labor that's being put
I was
into
about
it,
to say, yeah, I would definitely be giving them some harassment if they're going to charge you full price for this, because if the job should have taken 3 hours and they didn't touch it until 5 o'clock on Saturday or Friday or whatever day, Like that's on them. They needed, like, they should have touched it sooner rather than later.
You would think so, but what do I know? This is after I spent like $1,100 the week before on Tiff's car to get it up and running because her heat also didn't work. But hers is because the car is old and the thermostat went out.
Yeah.
And mine is because Ford doesn't know how to build a blower motor, evidently.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Like, as someone who used to have a Taurus, the 98 Taurus's transmission was notorious for just dying after 50,000 miles. Yeah. And so you either rebuild it for cheap or buy a new transmission from Ford, and neither option's a good option.
So, long and short, if anyone wants to donate to help pay for my car, that link's down in the show notes. By all means, please.
Yeah,
I would love some assistance.
The reason that like this all comes full circle is we drove through Sedalia to go to where we were going, and I could see your car in the bay, just sitting there.
Yep,
just taking up a slot.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
Carl, it's fine.
It's fine. So why are we actually here today?
I don't know, man. I'm going to play singles.
No. No,
Look,
that ain't happening.
We finally got Ranbats for Gen 9. That means I have to play them, Carl. That's how this works.
No, that means you're going to help me with this new tier list we're going to do. Now that we actually have information about Pokemon and the game.
Now that we have the official Pokédex.
Yep.
As opposed to the unofficial Pokédex.
Yeah, we did a tier list for all the new mons. The new mons are in here, and so they'll get adjusted as we go. But now we have access, we didn't know Gallade's ability got changed. That's new information.
There's a lot of really cool stuff that
we didn't know
about. We now have information
about Clear Amulet taking Intimidate out of the entire picture. Like, we didn't know that was a thing, and so now we're gonna just rank them all for you today.
It's gonna be a good fun time.
Yeah.
So, are we just... This is mostly in Pokédex order?
I have no clue. I couldn't tell you. Because there's a Grafai up here, and I don't know why this is up here.
Sure. Whatever. So, we're just going to start at the top. If we have things to say about the Pokemon, we will say so. And if not, they will be dropped into the appropriate tier because they suck.
Yeah, or just, aren't really impactful.
Yeah. Venomoth kind of sucks. It has access to Quiver Dance and Tinted Lands, and that's about it.
Yeah, it just doesn't do a whole lot. Rage Powder. And the base stat totals kind of just keeps it lacking. I think, did it get access to Tailwind through the thing? I don't remember. Is it just a repeat of, all the other bug types now?
You know, I have Showdown open. I could tell you.
That'd be a good idea. Because if it didn't get access to Tailwind, then it's actually worse than all the other bug.
Nope,
X.
it sucks.
Okay,
yep.
Cool.
Cool.
Cloyster.
So that's all I have to say. Cloyster is also pretty niche. You can do some cool things with Shell Smash, but that's about all I've got.
Water types aren't that great. Ice types aren't that great either. Yes, Snowscape helps ice types a ton, but a lot of the times you're just Terra away from your ice type, and in the case of Cloyster, it's just it's not enough for it. So it's just kind of whatever.
Yep.
There's no Shuckle for Chansey.
Chansey sucks.
Chansey kind of sucks. Grafai is Prankster Parting Shot and does something with slaking, right?
Yes, it has access to Doodle, which is really cool because you can do, you can get rid of Slaking's ability to make it actually usable.
Yeah.
That's it.
I would say it's probably a niche use there. Then it's got the one thing it does really good with the whole Doodle thing, and then it's it has Parting Shot, it has Toxic, and all that stuff.
Yep.
So do with that information what you will.
But it's pretty niche. It's a worse Prankster Parting Shot mon compared to Grimmsnarl. So it's not bad, but it's not very good.
Let's do Tauros's all together here. This is water and fire form. I haven't found the
No
normal.
fighting?
I didn't find the normal form in here.
I didn't see it either. I think they're both really interesting. I haven't played with them, so I can't give you like a definitive answer as to what I think about them. But I do think that like there's something I want to explore, and I'm not sure past that what I want to do.
Yeah, that's understandable.
I think when it comes to like their niches, they have like stab close combat on an intimidator, which I think is very cool. But like that's about all I've got when it comes to them. That's it.
Yeah. I think the water one's better than the fire one, just in general.
I think I agree with that.
But if I was gonna pick one, I think I picked the water one. The water one's got better resistances. Water fighting, there's not a whole lot of overlap and like weakness coverage is there, so that's really nice. Fire fighting means you are neutral to rock, which rock type isn't super prevalent right now, I don't think, outside of like Garchomp. Which Garchomp can just
like
click
Garchomp
Earthquake.
has rocks. Yeah, it has rock slide, so like, but I mean that's not what you're doing. So
Like it can just click Earthquake and you're just like really super sad. Intimidate's not that great right now, as we mentioned earlier. But yeah.
Yep, that's kind of where I'm at. I think the Tauroses are interesting but underexplored. Is the kind of the verdict I'm in.
Yeah.
I think Gyarados is probably better than both of them.
I like Gyarados as like a strong option.
I think it's a solid B.
Yeah. We were really high on Gyarados because we expected Intimidate to do really well. That was before, obviously, Clear Amulet was known about being in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Clear Amulet, if you haven't watched the deep dive, go back and watch that. I talk all about why Intimidate just feels terrible in this format. Part of it is just because there's a lot of special attackers right now that are doing really well. But also because it's like you play one physical attacker on your team most of the time that can carry Clear Amulet, and then one physical attacker that's like immune to Intimidate. And so now Intimidate just doesn't do anything.
Yeah, the TLDR is it's fine.
That like, all being said, Gyarados still gets access to Moxie. Gyarados is still like a really good Pokemon, and just in terms of coverage, it is really good attack stat. Moxie sweeps are a thing. You can do stuff with it there. Mm-hmm. So it's a strong, like it's a good water type, which are hard to find in this format, as you'll find out here soon. It's a good water type.
Agreed.
The first of the three evolutions, Vaporeon, Jolteon, Flareon, all kind of just don't do anything in VGC, really, to the most part. Vaporeon did something in a tournament, and that's cool. But I think that's more of a one-off thing than Vaporeon actually being really good.
I think Jolteon's interesting, just because it is moderately fast. I think the addition to like having access to Terra means that Flareon is better than it was because it has like actual coverage now.
Yeah.
But I mean, Water Absorb's cool on Vaporeon, but overall they're all like of the evolutions, they're better than some. They're okay, but they're fine. I think Jolteon's cool.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Yeah, like they're cool. Well, there's better evolutions. We'll get to those in a minute.
Yep.
Dragonite took off really well with the Chien Pao before Series 1 rules got released.
Dragonite's going to be really good when Chien Pao comes back.
Yeah, when Chien Pao comes back, Dragonite's going to be really going to be meta defining. You have to have an answer for Chien Pao Dragonite as a lead. But for right now, Dragonite is just really, really good still. Like that is probably a solid A tier. It's not quite like you have to have something for Dragonite every time, like on your team, but it's definitely a good. I could play this and not feel terrible.
Yep, I agree. Azumarill's kind of in that same boat. Like, it's pretty interesting. I've been Perish trapped by it. I've been belly drum swept by it.
You don't even have to play belly drum anymore, right? Like
no, I mean you really don't. Like you can just
It just hits you.
Water. Yeah, you just Terra Water Liquidation or Aqua Jet, and it's like, yeah, that's a ton of damage. It's fine. I like I said, I have lost to it multiple times, but yeah, I think there are better physical threats in this format
for sure.
And like I think there's also better fairy types in this format, which I have some very choice words when it comes to fairy types later.
So do you think Azumarill's probably a B with Gyarados? Water types in general right now aren't that great. They're starting to trend upwards. We're starting to see more water types. Quaquaval did really well in these past two like weekend events from Nino and Joe. There was like this Moxie set that was running around doing stuff.
Interesting. I haven't seen that yet.
Go if you find time, go check out the results from both of those. They're up on Limitless.
Okay.
Quaquaval's, it's a really cool set, and I think there's a little bit something to it, probably.
Do they have rentals up for them by chance?
No, they're just the open team sheets.
Dang. Because I'd really like to play with Quaquaval, because that's the only starter I haven't played with for laddering yet.
Yeah. Jumpluff. Jumpluff's pretty...
It has Rage Powder. It's really fast. It has access to Sleep Powder.
Tailwind as well.
It has Infiltrator as well. So, like, you can...
hit through sub.
With Infiltrator, can you Sleep Powder through sub? Is that how that works? Or is it...
As far as...
only...
I'm not sure how Infiltrator works. Like,
I'm looking now.
I don't know if it's just damaging moves work or if it's all moves. But... it's really cool because it has access to Tailwind, Rage Powder, all that stuff. It's a unique support Pokemon. You can Terra away from your 4x Ice weakness to solve that problem. You could honestly become like a Terra Steel or a Terra whatever and be fine with it. I think it's...
Showdown says moves ignore substitutes.
Then yes, it would hit through substitute.
And on it also says and foes Reflect, Light Screen, Safeguard, Mist, and Aurora Veil. So I'm assuming if it says you can ignore Safeguard, that means you can ignore... Yeah, you can status through sub. Which, I mean, that's cool, but I think when it comes to, like, Tailwind setters, there's a much better one in Gen 2, so...
Yep.
Sunflora sucks.
Yeah, Sunflora is not good.
Espeon sucks.
Espeon's not that great. It could join the other evolutions. Umbreon's actually kind of cool.
I did play. I played against a full evolution team on laddering. Oh, when I was laddering the other day, It wasn't on video. And they had like, I think it was Jolteon, Vaporeon, Umbreon, Leafeon, Sylveon, and Flareon. Maybe I like. Espeon's not even good enough to make the all evolution team.
Yeah, Umbreon is cool because it's like a Snarl, Yawn, Baby Doll Eyes. It does that cool support thing. Foul Play's really good, especially in a format where everything's like Swords Dance, Dragon Dance, whatever. I could see Umbreon in B, but I really think it's kind of the C.
I think it's the C tier.
It's a C tier Pokemon. Murkrow, get up here.
Murkrow's absurd. It's by far the best Tailwind setter. It's a very good answer into Dondozo. I think that this thing is absolutely absurd, and every team needs to be able to answer Murkrow in some capacity.
Yeah, like Murkrow is like Murkrow is the reason why it's so good. It's not just because it's just like Prankster Tailwind. We have like Talonflame starting to tick up in usage as well, with as being like a priority Tailwind setter. But like
I've been playing with a little bit of Talonflame this past week. It's really good.
Murkrow being able to just kind of do other stuff besides Tailwind. It feels more like Whimsicott than anything else. It's just like, I look like Tailwind, I have Haze, I have Foul Play, and I have Taunt.
I love like being able to Tailwind something and then Population Bomb and KO something. It's like, cool, you didn't get to attack this game.
Yeah, the mouse hold is combo with it is really cool.
I love House of Mouse.
Goldengo's really good with it. Garchomp, Hydreigon, any very good attacker is just like Murkrow's on my team immediately.
Slowking I think is fine.
I think it's just not usable. Chill Your Reception's cool. It's not
fine.
Good.
Compared to the other Pokemon in D tier, it's if we had an F tier, this would be a D and everything else would be an F, I think. But
yeah,
for this distinction, it's not good. And I want it to be. I'm probably going to play it at some point because I like it, but it's not good.
Yep. Sizor, probably a solid B or an A.
It's a solid B. It's a solid B tier. It punches really hard, and like technician boosts are really good, and being able to get rid of your 4x fire weakness is really good.
How much benefit does it get from the fact that when you terrestrialize, all your moves that are less than 60 base power go to 60?
Except for priority moves.
Yeah.
So like, bullet punch doesn't get better, which sucks.
The thing is pounce. It's like pounce is the one that matters.
Yeah, pounce is really cool. I think Scissor's fine. You're typically tearing into like, I think flying is really good because it removes your 4x weakness and gives you an additional immunity. And with all the earthquakes running around, being able to be immune to them is really good.
Saying just, I'm going to ignore your earthquake on the Garchomp and then hit you with whatever, you're kind of just going to sit there and take it.
Yep.
Nobody's really played with Ursaring. I don't think there's anything to it right now.
Eviolite is legal on it, right?
Like, Eviolite does work on it. It's just, what are you going to do if you're not like Guts Facade, right? Like,
yeah. You prankster Will-O-Wisp yourself to give your access to your Guts you can be Guts plus Eviolite then. So you're super bulky, you hit really hard, and then you can't be statused.
Man, that sounds like a lot of setup. That sounds like a lot. Like,
am I lost in the sauce yet?
There's a couple Pokemon on this list that you can do that with, but that seems like a lot.
Is Ursaring not the one you want to do that with, Carl?
Probably not.
But then you have Super Stab Facades.
Espartha is really cool.
Yeah, it's fine.
This thing is really niche in like the fact that it's just like Opportunist is really cool with everything setting up, either whether it's like Dragon Dance or Swords Dance. You kind of just like are hoping to copy that speed boost, but sometimes you're not going to get that. So I feel like the speed boost sets are just like the high priority. Lumina Crash and just continuing like
Lumina Crash is busted, man. That attack is so freaking good.
It forces a switch if it doesn't KO it immediately.
Because like, here's the thing: if the first one does more than 30%, you're dead. The second one will KO you.
Yeah, you cannot stay.
It's so good, man. It's so freaking sick.
Yeah, and like the fact that you combine this with like a speed boost to like you protect turn one. There's no Dynamax to break your protect. Like,
or even just like pairing this next to a redirector and getting a single Calm Mind off. Calm Mind and then your speed boost, and then like you just blow everything up.
Yeah, like there's Spartha's going to be good like in certain formats. It's just still very like narrow in what it's going to do.
Man, base 101 special attack's really freaking high.
Flamigo, Co-Star's cool.
Co-Star is really cool.
Scrappy's cool. It's
too bad people are only ever going to play this next to Dondozo, so you don't ever get to see it do its thing on its own.
Yeah. Rabska, Revival Blessing's cool. Bug Psychic's nice. I just don't see
There's better Revival Blessing mons, unfortunately.
Like, on a certain set of teams, like with like Trick Room, you could probably do this, but that's about it.
I mean, dude, this thing does have really good bulk. Like, unironically, this thing does have really good bulk. I think Rabska's... It's like my sleeper pick of things that's going to be good.
Yeah.
That, like, we're discrediting now.
Yeah. Pelipper, probably a solid B tier Pokemon right now.
Pelipper's your best rain setter, and like that's really unfortunate.
It's the only rain setter.
It's correct, and it's really unfortunate because they took away Scald from the rain mons, and it's just like
now you have to run Hydro Pump.
You have to run Hydro Pump, and I have I know Cybertron played the there was a toxicity rain team running around.
Mm-hmm.
And I played a little bit of it, and man, it's really fun to just click Wide Guard in front of Goldango and watch it just not do anything.
Oh, I bet.
I had a match where they had Indeedee plus Goldango, and Indeedee went for Dazzling Gleam, and like, you know, of course, Make It Rain. I'm just like, man, you are so dead. Like, And I got Wide Guard off twice in front of them. Oh, it was so freaking good.
Masquerain
sucks.
Garbage. And like the one quality it has is it's an Intimidator, and when Intimidate's bad, it's even worse.
Breloom is niche.
Breloom's ticking up in usage. It's starting to see more play.
I think I like Breloom more than I like Pelipper, so yeah, that's fair.
Like, Breloom's a good grass type. It's got priority stuff. It's got a fast spore, which we'll talk about fast spores again later on. But I think Breloom's going to become popular as the game starts to as the format kind of progresses. Like, kind of like how when we get to Hariyama, we'll talk about Hariyama too. Hariyama was a Pokemon that I was really surprised wasn't doing well, and now is starting to see more play. Just because
people know how to play with the new toys, man.
The new toy syndrome is starting to wear off, and people are kind of figuring out, oh, I could still fake out stuff because I have open team sheets now.
Sablei's sick.
Speaking of fake out stuff, I would say this is a strong...
It's like my third favorite prankster Pokemon in the game.
Yeah. Which is why
like,
it's
sad because it's like always the third best.
Part of Sablei's problem is just like the prankster stuff that it gets is very, very like narrow. Like you're not doing a ton of speed control. You have Quash, which is cool, but like it's not permanent.
You have Will-O-Wisp,
Rain Dance, Sunny Day. It's your
I forgot those.
It's your rain setter.
It's unfortunately it's just like its bulk is kind of mediocre at 50, 75, 65. Does it still get Trick?
I believe so.
It does. Okay. So I mean, there's something.
But there's other Pokemon that do that just as good.
For sure. And you get like Foul Play, you get knockoff still evidently. Interesting.
Yeah. Camerupt, not that great. Torkoal, get in here.
Torkoal's really good, and it's only going to get better when the Paradox Pokemon.
Yeah, like when we get these back here, this moves up to S, 100%. But for right now, Torkoal's a solid, like, A. Like, you don't even have to play Sun to have it be good. You could just play it as a Terra Fire with Drought for Trick Room. Like, it is a perfect Trick Room sweeper.
And with all the steel types running around, i.e. Goldango, and all the physical attackers running around, thanks to like Intimidate being bad, like having really good defense and like a resistance to steel is really useful. Yeah.
Grumpig doesn't do anything. I don't think Banette does anything.
I couldn't tell you what it did. I think it gets Sucker Punch. That's the best I got.
Salamence is kind of like Gyarados, but a little worse because there's other dragons running around.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's just like, here's Moxie on Salamence. You have different coverage. You probably have better coverage than Gyarados, but I don't think it's enough for Salamence to do well.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Staraptor, kind of that same boat. It's an Intimidator. It does have like Pivot Intimidate, so it's a little better than most of the other Intimidators in that sense. But what you're probably going to be doing is just like Terra Flying Brave Bird. Just burn something down. Kind of like how people do it the Final Gambit nonsense. Kricketune, get out of here. Pachirisu, it's a follow me Pokemon with speed control. I think there's better options if you're looking for redirection. Mm-hmm. Gastrodon.
Gastrodon's fine.
I would say
it's not as good when there's not as many water types running around.
Yeah, that's part of its problem.
And it's not as good when there's less Kyogres running around, which I'm not upset by. So
if it was a Kyogre, it'd be some other water type, and there's just not that many.
Yeah.
You see, like, Gastrodon on these sand teams in case someone, like, Terra Waters or something. It's a decent, like, Dondozo check because you can, like, yawn it if it's out of its sub. You can absorb Wave Crash. But outside of that, you're not doing a whole lot with Gastrodon right now. It'll get better as the format kind of develops and these other water types kind of see more play. Miss Magius kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Honchkrow kind of sucks.
It's really unfortunate that just like all the Pokemon that got like Gen 2 Pokemon that got evolutions, most of the evolutions are just not good.
Well, that's because outside of exactly like in this situation, Murkrow, most of the Pokemon before that weren't good.
That's also true. And then there's Fluttermane.
Yeah, and then there's the prehistoric Fluttermane. Garchomp's probably gonna be sitting in S tier for the foreseeable future.
A hot minute, yeah.
Garchomp's really good. I think this was one of the Pokemon we were really excited about because you are able to tear away from your 4x weakness to ice in either direction, ground, dragon, or whatever. I think Terra Fire is really cool on this thing because once you're playing Clear Amulet, you're immune now to burn. So there's no way for them to really reduce the damage outside of Reflect, which is really, really neat. You outspeed almost everything that's actually like you actually care about outside of Dragapult.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really good.
Yeah, it's very, very good.
Who knew?
It's yeah.
Let's see here. We have Lucario up next. Did Lucario get any kind of help from anything?
No.
I didn't think so.
Not particularly.
It's Justified, Inner Focus, Steadfast. Those are the abilities.
That sounds correct.
Justified's cool. You have like beat up Mousehold.
Did you say Inner Focus?
Yes.
Okay. I thought you did, but I wanted to verify.
Was I right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it sucks.
Hippowdon. Not a very good Pokemon in doubles.
Is it our only sand setter currently?
No, we have Tyranitar.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, you suck.
Yeah, like we have Tyranitar. That's why it's down here in niche use. Toxicroak.
It's about on par with Hippowdon.
Like, it's cool. I don't know if it's good. Like,
it's
there's
not.
so many fake out Pokemon that you can use. I don't think you want to even.
There's just so many better fake out mons.
Lumineon. I know you get Tailwind. Nope. Sorry, you're not helpful.
You get Storm Drain and Tailwind, and the rest of your moveset sucks.
Well, guess what? Storm Drain's not good. So guess what? It's not good.
Yep.
Leafeon, just like all the other Evolutions, not that great.
Unfortunately.
Gallade. This thing's cool. I would call this a strong Pokemon.
I think
Sharpness has helped this a lot.
Gallade is going to be better than we thought it would ever be. I genuinely am very excited to play with Gallade, and I know we've talked it up the last several weeks, and I still have not played a single game with it. I don't think I've played a single game against it either. Like, that's the crazy part.
I think Sharpness takes this thing and turns Gallade's like overall use up to an 11. You have access to Wide Guard, Will-O-Wisp, Trick Room, all the stuff that Gardevoir normally gets access to, on top of just being like dealing extra physical damage.
Yep.
Frostlass, get out of here. No one likes you. You don't do anything.
You can pair it with your Tauros to do anger point things.
Ha ha. Rotom forms. Fan's not very
sucks.
good. Mo's not very good.
Yeah.
Wash is probably the best of the bunch.
Wash is probably the best water type in the game.
Probably. I would do something like this, probably.
I think Wash and Heat are probably about right. I think they're probably about on par.
You think they're equal?
But, yeah, I think they're both like solid. I think they're solid Bs.
Think they're both solid Bs? I think Rotom Wash is probably better than that.
Yeah, I like this. I think Heat's right there, but I think yeah. I like it.
Like he is good because Goldango's good. But you don't have to play it. You have other fire type options. If you're looking for a water type and you can't figure out what you want, Rotom is the water type to go to most of the time. Lilligant's a good grass type, especially if you have Torkoal. Most of the time, those two are paired together. They're attached to the hip.
Is it the... How many chlorophyll mons do we currently have in the game?
We have Lilligant, Leafeon, Sunflora,
Jumpluff, Sawsbuck, Skullvillain.
Skullvillain's the other one, yeah. That's the other one.
Tropius.
Yeah, but...
I think of those, I'm really excited about Skullvillain because it gets to use its stab in the sun while also being chlorophyll.
Yeah.
Which I know it's been like popping up in singles, because you can do like it's specifically like Uber's things. You can put it next to Koraidon and just like run people over that way. But I'm interested in seeing if it does anything in doubles. All that to say, Lilligant's fine.
Yeah, Lilligant's good. It's your Venusaur of this game.
Yeah. But you also get after you, so you can just blow people up with fast eruptions.
Yeah, that's the thing that makes Lilligant a little bit better in this situation, is you just have after you if your sleep powders aren't good. Basculin, no one likes you. Crocodile, Intimidate's not very good. You're a dark ground type. Your typing's really neat, but... That's kind of where it belongs.
Yep. You can pair Frostlass with it to get anger point things.
And weakness policy.
It's not good.
Zoroark's not very good.
It sucks, unfortunately.
People know when you have Zoroark on your team, it's almost always in the lead. That's why you play Zoroark.
Gothitel's cool.
I like Gothitelle a lot, actually. I
actually really do, too.
I think
Gothitelle, again, is very underexplored right now.
Yeah. It's really good. I think it's one of the better Trick Room setters in this game right now. Having access to Fake Out.
Interestingly, Murkrow gets access to Perish Song?
Yes.
So, like, I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. For anyone who wants to do that, you could be the jerk.
Yeah, you could be the jerk. That is a possibility.
Because with Prankster Perish Song, you're not getting blown up before you get to click it, so...
You kind of are.
I mean, you're not wrong.
You get it one priority sooner than you normally would, which if
Correct.
they're going for some very low priority moves, you'll get it in there.
This Sawsbuck's clearly D tier because it's not the winter version.
Sawsbuck in general is just...
It's not good,
D.
Unfortunately. You get Serene Grace Headbutt, which is cool, but yeah, it's kind of...
Amoonguss is probably one of the best grass types in the game.
I don't think it's a hot take to say Amoonguss is the best grass type.
Yeah. It's not...
I think you could easily put Amoonguss in S tier.
I probably could.
And
we're gonna do it.
It's good. It's really freaking good, man.
Like, Amoonguss is everywhere. Its Spore is really powerful. Rage Power is really good. Clear Smog is what is notably beneficial for it because Clear Smog is another check to clear amulet.
And there's a lot of setup going around.
Yeah. So having them, if you can't ever afford to have Murkrow on your team, Amoonguss is usually your guy.
Or you can play them together and turbo shroom people.
Yes.
And make people sad. Just throwing that out there, it is an option.
Amolomolo's not good. Electros not good. Axorus just isn't very good.
You get Moldbreaker Dragon Dance stuff, but that's about it.
Baratic's not good. Crowd's not good. Braviary, fun fact, when Intimidate's not good, Defiant isn't that good.
And here's the other thing about it. Hustle isn't very good.
when there's no
it did have Hustle, right?
Yeah. Or no, this one that was Rufflet.
Is that just Rufflet?
I think that's just Rufflet.
Oh, it has Sheer Force. That's the other
it turns
one.
into Sheer Force, yeah.
Sheer Force is probably not the worst thing. Just like Life Orb or Clear Amulet Sheer Force things.
The problem is you're a normal flying type.
I mean, yeah, you're still a Braviary end of the day.
Hydreigon.
Yeah, this is...
I don't know if it's meta-defining. It's good. It's really good.
I think the double Dragon Core of Garchomp plus Hydreigon is something that we're going to see for the at least the end of Series 1.
It's hilarious that you say that because it's already started to trend downwards.
Dude, I think it's so freaking good. I think
Problem
Hydreigon...
is it's predictable now. People have played against it enough that they understand, oh, when I see this, Hydreigon is one of these. Garchomp is usually just Terra Ground. I can play around this now.
Yeah, for sure. I do think that, like, playing Hydreigon without Garchomp and just, like, doing Hydreigon things by itself is really good, too. I think a lot of people need to play with more Hydreigon.
Yeah.
Mainly so Sylveon's better, but I might be a little biased.
Volcarona. Volcarona is a good...
I think Volcarona's good.
Giving it access to Tailwind is huge for
really
Volcarona.
good. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
This is why I was asking about, like, Venomoth, because if Venomoth had access to Tailwind, it's probably closer to being on par with Volcarona than we were giving it credit for. But since it doesn't, it's why there's a big gap here between Volcarona being in B and Venomoth being down here in D.
Mm-hmm.
Talonflame's probably another solid B tier in my opinion. It is that Tailwind priority stuff, but it's still a Talonflame. Like, you could priority Brave Bird things, but like any damage, any priority above that gets you. Like E-Speed Dragonite gets you. Psychic Terrain gets you because Indeedee's really popular still. Because fun fact, that gave Indeedee female Trick Room. Indeedee male is now obsolete.
Like, legitimately, yeah.
So Talonflame is really cool. It's just that don't click Brave Bird into grounded Pokemon if Psychic Terrain is up. You'll be sad. But if you don't like Murkrow or you just want to have an extra Tailwind setter, Talonflame is a great option. Pavilion, I wanted this thing to be cool. Friend Guard Tailwind, Rage Powder is really cool. It's not.
It's
fine.
Yeah.
Like, it's very niche at what it does. You probably put it in C. It's better than most of these, I think.
I think a lot of people are going to miss the fact that it has Friend Guard at first.
Yeah.
Like, if you have never seen it before, you're not going to know that it has Friend Guard. And I think that's something that, could be misleading.
Don't mind me. I'm just grabbing a bunch of the Gen 6 stuff and putting it in the right spot.
I think Dragalge's, like, you could do something with it. I think Hawlucha's way better than D. I think Hawlucha's actually really freaking good.
I think Hawlucha's hot garbage right now.
No, you do unburden stuff with it.
Unburden doesn't matter.
You say that, man.
Unburden doesn't matter because everyone's playing Tailwind.
Yeah. And so here's the
you
thing.
have to play your own Tailwind setter next to it to get it to do anything. But then you can't trigger your Unburden. Because there's no terrain setter that triggers your seeds. Has Tailwind.
So you don't need terrain. I'm stealing Pokesports tech here. Have you seen this yet?
What? Is it just self-proc it with whatever?
No, you play Mirror Herb, and you swagger them.
You know Swagger can miss,
good.
right?
Yeah,
Swagger can miss.
Trust me, I'm the Swagger Mudsdale guy. I know it can miss.
That is not a guaranteed setup, so that's not usable.
Man,
it's a great meme.
Good, it's great. Oh yeah, it's so
not
freaking
good though. You'll get somebody 80% of the time.
85.
No, because then people will start to figure it out too, and they'll just beat you with it.
How Swagger is 85, right?
I believe so. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Hawlucha's coverage, fighting, flying is not good typing. It's not good damage typings. Because no one's playing grass. The only fighting type coverage you really need to worry about hitting anything with is Hydreigon. There's so many ghosts running around that you can't safely click a fighting type move.
The other thing about it is there's a lot of Terra Steel running around as well. It's like, that's also just a thing you can do.
You say there's a lot. There's only one Pokemon in the top that actually ever clicks Terra Steel. Outside of Goldengo.
Because I was gonna say we haven't got to Goldengo yet,
And half the time, Goldengo's Terra Ghost.
and we haven't seen Dondozo yet either.
Most of the time, those are Dragon or Grass.
Dude, I've seen a lot of Steel lately.
That's because people are scared of Amoonguss.
Which then you just get spored.
Like, you don't want to Terra into something like Steel for this situation for Dondozo because you're sitting there eating earthquakes.
Can you, on Pikalytics, can you not just search for, like, common, like, Terra types? Like, I know...
I haven't been on Pikalytics since the end of Sword and Shield, so I have no clue. Sylveon, get up here.
Sylveon's absurd. Sylveon's the best fairy type in this game.
Fun fact, there's not a lot of good fairy types in this game.
There are not. I will be the first to admit that. But man, Sylveon's sick. Do you want to talk about it some, or?
I have seen Goodra a couple times in videos on ladders, and most of the time it's there to just eat a spore.
Yeah, and then it dies to all the dragons and Sylveon.
What's cool is you get to kind of just like you can abuse Sap Sipper, go Terra Water, or Terra whatever you need to like trick a grass type attack into you. But that's about it.
What kind of coverage does Goodra get?
A lot. Ice, fire, electric, water. You have Power Whip. I think you have Superpower now.
If we go ground, we get Earthquake, which then like
Earthquake.
Sap Sipper. Yeah, that's sick. Water, we get physical water moves. We get
Aqua Tail.
And like obviously Terra Blast fits all these descriptions too. We get Rock Slide as well, so that's another one that you could Terra into.
Yeah, physical Goodra is an option. It's just not very good. Put Clefkly in C probably. It's probably like the 5th best prankster mod in the game.
That's probably accurate. Noivern sucks.
Noivern's not very good. Avalug's not very good. Young Goose, get out. Gumshoes, whatever, get out of here. Crabominable, Hypercutter's not really important right now.
Oricoreo's not very good.
People are gonna meme with it. Dancer, Revelation Dance, whatever. I don't like. I like 2 of the Lycanrocs. I think like these 2. I don't like this one. This one.
That one sucks, man. It has the best shiny, but man,
all of the shinies are blue.
Yeah, but it's the best shiny.
Toxapex, no.
That's a singles Pokemon.
Mudsdale was really cool for a while. I saw it a lot, and like
Stamina's really powerful, man.
I think Garchomp is overshadowing it now. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Like, if you're gonna play a ground type, you're gonna play Garchomp.
Yep.
You're gonna play Terra Ground, Earthquake, Garchomp. Like Mudsdale, just if you're playing Trick Room and you want like a ground type, you could do that. But that's probably where it's gonna be. Is just in B. Lurantis, super corner case for like contrary things.
It lost superpower.
Yeah, and it lost superpower, so
it might actually be. I genuinely don't think this thing is playable now.
It's playable. Like, people are always going to try to like do weird stat drops, and when that becomes a thing, contrary is going to come in and it's going to be good. But that's about it, really.
Interestingly, it is the only contrary Pokemon in the game.
Neat. Serena's starting to tick up usage now.
I love Serena.
I know you recently played with the Scarf Serena. It's been pretty good.
That was on the Toxapex Rain team.
Yeah.
It was really freaking good because you get to Terra play rough, and let me tell you, that slaps.
I bet. Oranguru is probably another really good Trick Room Pokemon. Like, it's a really good setter. Inner Focus means you are immune to Fake Out. You can just carry a Mental Herb for taunt. So now they're forced to double taunt that slot. You also just get to Instruct, which is really, really powerful. So like when you're doing like Torkoal things or anything else, it's just bam, bam. Palisand's not very good. Komala's not very good. Haven't seen a ton of Mimikyu here lately. I think Mimikyu is getting a little bit underplayed because there's just other like Armarouge is like a Trick Room on that's really, really good. They're not worried about getting the Trick Room set up. They're worried about dealing damage after Trick Room goes up, and Mimikyu can do that. It's just not the best at doing that when you're also playing other physical mons. Adam, I'm sorry.
Dude, he hit Master Ball with it.
I'm glad. That's not hard to do.
Yeah.
Like, we had this discussion in the chat the other day, like how talking about how like ladder's great and whatnot. I'm just like, what like purpose will be going forward. Ladder's just there to boost your ego.
I mean, yeah.
That's where it's even more so now. Like,
I mean, I'm a still ladder because I really enjoy it.
Oh
like,
yeah, no, I'm not saying it's a bad thing to do. Like, go if you enjoy playing on ladder, go enjoy playing on ladder. That's your prerogative. If you're really wanting to get ready for VGC stuff, I wouldn't put all your time into laddering. I would definitely find someone to do best of threes.
Yep, for sure.
I would definitely do that. If you're looking to go to a regionals here in less than a month, I know San Diego is coming up on us real fast. I'm super excited for IRL events to come back for sure.
Yep.
But it's just like, tangent over. We're gonna drop it. Greedent, you can do it, but I wouldn't recommend it. Corviknight's really cool. Mirror Armor's not as important because Intimidate's not there, but who knows? I think it's a steel flying type. It's got Tailwind now.
Yep.
So that's really good for it. We have found our best Swift Swimmer, by the way.
Dude, Dreadnought's sick.
Dreadnought is the reason Rain can actually like do stuff most of the time. Dreadnought hits really hard. You got decent coverage. With Terrestrialization, you can tear away from 4 times weakness to grass, which is really good. Yeah, real good option for Rain teams if you're looking to play with Pelipper. Colossal. I don't think this thing's very good. I think it losing its Gigantamax means that it's just not ever going to do anything anymore. They gave it Power Gem now, so you can do weakness policy stuff with it and not feel terrible. But the reason Colossal was so bad for the format, like for people to play against, was because it chipped you down and just kind of blew you up.
I played with Cole a little bit. It's
fine. Yeah, it's not that
the fact is, like, if you're trying to do this, you typically want to move away from being weak to water or fire, which then means you're not proccing a policy.
Yeah.
Which typically means you're like Absorb Bulb or Life Orb. And, you know, a +1's way worse than a +2.
Yeah, especially with Colossal. Colossal only is base 80 on both of its attacking options there, so.
Yep.
Flapple, Appleton, Sandaconda, not that great. Barraskewda is a Rainmon, but I don't think Follow Me and whatnot isn't super prevalent, and so Propeller Tail is not that great. So it just isn't that great. Toxtricity's kind of cool. You played with it a little bit. Boom Burst is really neat. You can like Terra Ghost something next to it, and you can just Boom Burst for days with it. Hatterene's not seeing a whole lot of play. Fun fact, when you get rid of Expanding Force from a lot of Pokemon, Hatterene's never really that great. Plus, there's more access to like Prankster Parting Shot now, right?
Yeah, I do really like Hatterene, but like it's not what it used to be because you don't have the Gmax form to be able to cheese people with Smite, and like you also lost access to Expanding Force, so you're not nearly like the damage dealer you used to be. But like I mean, you are still a slow Psychic Fairy type. Both of those are very good typings. You're able to pressure a lot of the format with said typing. But end of the day, it's not the best Trick Room setter like it used to be.
We lied. There's another good fairy type.
That's very true.
That's
It's very, very true. I still think Sylveon's better because it beats up Grimmsnarls.
Yes. As long as the Grimmsnarl doesn't tear, which I've been seeing more of here lately. Grimmsnarl having access to Parting Shot is huge. It puts that fear of I'm going to reduce the damage you're going to deal this turn into your opponent's head, even with open team sheets. So, like, I'm gonna set Reflect, and now I'm gonna Parting Shot you. So now you definitely don't do anything. But on the flip side of that, there's the fun interaction with Clear Amulet, where you don't get to switch still. It works just like Clear Body, and it just says, nope, sorry, you don't get to do the thing. It fails. But beyond that, Grimmsnarl is doing really, really good as just kind of just being this screen setter. I don't think screens is the best set for it. I think there's some other explorations we could do with it. But as the format kind of adapts, we'll figure stuff out with it. Phalanx, get out of here. Pincurchin, get out of here. Sorry.
I think Pincurchin could be better once we get the Paradox Pokemon.
Yeah,
just because,
again,
it's the only electric train setter. It's the only electric surge Pokemon in the game.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think most of the future Paradox Mons, you're gonna just like, if you want to get the boost, you just play
yeah,
the Orb Booster Energy.
Booster Energy. Indeed, female. A or B? I'll let you make the call.
I think it's A.
You think
I
so?
think it's really freaking good, man.
Getting access to Trick Room is huge, right?
Does it also get imprisoned, or was that only male?
Indeed, female has imprisoned. Yes, I'm pretty sure.
That's male. I want female. It does. Okay, so like, it can be a Trick Room setter. It can be a Trick Room like preventer. Psychic Surge is obviously very good because this is one of the few terrains that is naturally in the game.
Psychic terrain plus Psychic Seed means you're just bulky as all get out.
You get a lot of bulk. You can also just be like Citrus Berry. You can be Lefties. You can be Focus Sash. There's a lot of items that you can play on Indeedee. You can be Safety Goggles. Indeedee's really good. It's a very, very good support Pokemon. I think you can make the argument that, like, outside of, man, it's really freaking close to being like just one of the best support Pokemon. Like, I don't think it is the best, just because like its form of speed control is, I think when it's good, it's very good. But man, it's I love Indeedee. I think Indeedee is another Pokemon that like not enough people have played with yet, and that's saying something because like Trick Room is starting to pop up again. And I still think it's underplayed.
Yeah. Dragapult.
Dragapult hits really freaking hard, man.
I think this is a solid B tier Pokemon. I think there's just better things to do at Dragon types. Like Garchomp, Hydreigon are all very popular. Hydreigon in particular also carries dark coverage, and so you can't just like Terra Ghost and get away from it. So I also think there's just like less need to be the fastest thing without Tailwind set up, because Tailwind is usually getting set up. Baxcalibur. I want this thing to be really good. Dragon Ice is not the best typing. Thermal Exchange is cool. It doesn't work like you think it does, but it's cool nonetheless.
I think if it worked the way we thought it did, it'd be really freaking good.
Oh, but yeah, if it worked the way we thought it did and just made you immune to fire, oh my goodness, head and shoulders above most other things going on.
Yeah, but you just get to play Lava Plume next to it and like do a ton of damage and like give you a +1.
Yeah, and in this situation, it doesn't do that. You just take damage and then be sad. With the impact of Terra types, though, you get to Terra away from that ice weakness into straight Dragon. You could Terra into fire, do whatever. You carry Clear Amulet really well. You're kind of just like a little bit slower Garchomp in a way, where you Terra into one of your types that you already are, deal massive damage, and carry Clear Amulet but you're also immune to burn, which is the best part.
Mm-hmm. The fact that you're a physical attacker immune to burn and with clear amulet means that like you also just can't have your attack dropped at all. It's really good. It's really powerful.
Yeah.
Armor is absurd.
Armourouge is hitting that meta-defining point, I think. It's starting to see enough play where it's just really, really good. It's hard to interact with a lot of the times. Since nobody is playing flying-type coverage, and they're mostly playing fire, you can't hit it super effectively. And so you have this issue of it's going to tear grass in front of you, and it's going to have flash fire, and it's going to be impossible to not one-hit KO this thing unless they've already wasted their Terra and you got lucky. Not to mention his Trick Rooms with Indeedee. It's got expanding force, so this thing's the new Hatterene. And it's just insane. Belly Bolt.
It sucks. It's so adorable, and I love him, but it's not very good.
Blissey, Bombardier, Cerulege has got some some decent things going on. It's not
I
as
think
good as
it's very
Armourouge.
good. I would agree with that. I think it is very good, but it's no Armourouge.
Yeah, it's a solid B tier. Fire Ghost is a really good typing. It's just it's not doing the same type of stuff that Armourouge is doing. Really kind of just like pushing the meta towards those Trick Room teams. Clodsire, you're not very good. Doc's Bun, it's got some neat things it can do with well-baked body and body press, but that's about it. Bozo, come here, bub. Where's Tatsugiri? Is Tatsugiri in here? I'm putting these two together because it meets the requirement of meta defining.
Yes, I would agree with that.
It's really good, and if you don't have an answer for it, it will beat your team.
I'm curious how long before we can say on an episode we didn't talk about Dondozo.
I'm telling you, Dondozo, I've said it once and I'll say it again, Dondozo is the new Colossal.
It really is. Like, it really, really is.
Except nobody's sleeping on it this time.
That's the thing, is like, I think a big reason why people are so in on Dondozo is because Wolf took it to number 1 so early. Like, the fact that, Wolf, who is probably, I don't even want to say, like, probably, he is, like, the VGC content guy. He's the most well-known because he has the most results of all time or whatever. The fact that he's, like, the most popular and, like, he's just like, hey, this is good, we're going to play this, just means that everyone's just like,
all right.
That means it has to be playable and it has to be good because he says it is. Yeah. And, like, I understand that mentality is, like, listen to the pros and play what the pros play. But at the same time, the pros will also go and then play Toadstool. So.
Yes. Dondozo Tatsugiri is really, really powerful. As a Cole player, Dondozo Tatsugiri feels very much just like playing Cole. The teams you build around it are designed to highlight it very, very well, and the rest of the Pokemon around it are designed to answer anything your opponent can have to probably try and stop it. Whether that be a specific Pokemon like Sylveon to stop Murkrow, or having just another option on the team like you played on Laddering where it's Meowscarada and Hydreigon and all these other Pokemon to kind of just beat things up. Like, that's also an option. So you have multiple things you can do alongside this, and when it's good, you'll highlight it and it'll be great. And when it's bad, your team still functions.
And, dude, the other really good thing about it is just like, man, it hits so freaking hard.
Well, yeah, that's why
the fact that it has 3 relevant abilities. Its move pool is very good. It has multiple forms that it can Terra into, and all of which are reasonable. It's just, it checks so many boxes that, like, you just have to be prepared for it. And I think that's good. I think that's a good place to be in the format.
Yeah. Let's see here. We've got, I put Bruxish in here. Gardevoir's kind of niche. Psychic Fairy, Trick Room Setter.
It also has telepathy, so you can sit it next to Garchomp and just spam your Earthquakes and be fine.
Yeah.
Like that is a relevant thing.
So Gengar's high on my list right now. I don't know if you've seen the Terra Flying support Gengars.
Yes.
They are so cool.
I think Pokesports has been doing this too. I could be wrong, but I could have swore I saw them on TikTok doing something with Gengar.
I have no clue. My thing is, it's fast Icy Wind. You can stop Trick Room. It has access to Haze. You're immune to Fake Out. You can Terra Flying to dodge Earthquake if you need to. Like there's you essentially get Levitate Gengar back, which is really cool.
It's so freaking cool, man.
Glaceon, not very good. With all the other evolutions down there. Houndstone. This thing is a monster in singles. Because Last Respects is busted. But
I'm pretty sure it got like insta banned from singles.
It got banned from
OU, right?
I think it got removed and put up into
Throw it up in Ubers.
I was about to say, did they throw it up? I think they threw it up in Ubers, right?
Yeah, that's Ubers is above OU. There's no tier in between those.
In the case of doubles, it's not that great. It does have Sandrush. I think this is our only Sandrush Pokemon.
I can tell you.
Which pairs really well with it is.
And Lycanroc.
And Lycanroc. Which,
you know, the Pokemon with base 112 speed?
That doesn't need it, yeah.
You know, I'm just saying, Carl.
And priority rock move. Let's just add that on there. It definitely needs Sandrush. Houndstone.
The other thing about this is like, this also gives you a sand sweeper that's not weak to everything else that sand is weak to.
Right, that is a huge benefit. Not to mention that it's a ghost type to check one of your sand type's weaknesses, which in this case for Tyranitar is a 4 times weakness to fighting. Yep. That is ginormous.
Yep.
But it's gonna be in the C tier for right now because sand as a whole feels very just kind of underwhelming.
Underexplored. You know, column A, column B.
Low kicks is not good. I'm sorry, Mabostiff, bestest boy, you're not that great. Mousehold, get up here in A. Insane. Get up here in A. No, it's not meta defining.
I really want it to be.
It's not. It's good. I will tell you for free. It's really good. Population Bomb is insane.
The number of times you can just get a free kill with it is just absurd. Like, oh no, I'm faster than you.
Yeah.
I hit all my attacks. Cool, you're dead.
Yeah.
Like,
let's sit here and watch the now longest animation in the game.
I love it because it's just like, all right, and
go.
Check. All right, we got there.
Cool.
Oh, hold on, you ate your citrus berry.
Dumb.
All right, we got there.
Yeah, Mousehold is really, really good.
I love it. I love the House of Mouse.
Medicham just hasn't.
Does Medicham do anything?
It's pure power with Fake Out. It's just not been that great. Annihilate. This thing is gross. We were excited for the Evo of Primate because Primate was going to get to hold Eviolite. We don't even care anymore. Annihilate is just that good. Final Gambit off of base 110 HP knocks out a lot of these Pokemon.
Yep.
And there's just nothing you can do about it. Except maybe become a ghost type or dodge it. Swap out. Hope you can take it.
It's really good.
Arbolivia is probably a good C tier Pokemon.
It's really cool.
It's really bulky.
I always forget that grass doesn't resist fighting because I just feel like it should. So it's just like, yeah, I can stay in. Oh, I'm dead.
Yeah, I made that mistake the other day. It was just like thinking about it. It's like, oh, Arbolivia is grass normal, right? Like I could just stay in on this fighting type move because I'm bulky. No, no, you can't.
The number
Run
of times
away.
I stayed in on a annihilate close combat. I'm like, I'm at full HP. I'm behind reflect. Oh, it's weak. Yep. Oops.
Bramblegast, the Dunsparce, Gargonicle. Where are you? Let's think.
Garganachi.
I don't know if I would put this in S. It's definitely an A. This thing's really good.
It's really good. It dies to any kind of like special attack, but like just don't get hit.
The more I'm looking at what A is, I moved a Hydreigon up. Like
Yep,
the more I'm looking at A, it's just like Hydreigon's head and shoulders like above most of these Pokemon.
Yep, I would agree. It's almost like I argued that. Goldango's insane.
Insane. Like they overtuned. They nerfed this Pokemon and it still wasn't enough.
Elaborate.
So according to the leaks, in development, Make It Rain didn't drop your special attack.
What?
It was just a spread base 120 move, and it just smacked people. And so they did a lot of testing with it, like in game, and they changed it to what we have now, which is still
Because
way
what
overtuned.
It was is fine.
It's still way overtuned. The Make It Rain should have been like base 100, lowers your special attack by 1, maybe even like 95% accurate.
If you keep it at 120, make it like Draco. Just like make it drop 2.
Yeah. But no, we're gonna 120 it, 100% accurate, and it only drops 1.
Man, just
on
insane.
a Pokemon immune to status outside of Toadstool.
Just bananas. Are there any like Mold Breaker Sleep Powder Mons?
I don't think so.
I'm gonna say yes, and I think it is Jump Bluff.
Mold Breaker?
Does it not get Mold Breaker? It does not. Okay.
So that'd be a first for me.
What was its other really weird ability? Oh, it gets Leaf Guard. That's the other.
Yeah,
weird
it's
one.
Leaf Guard. It's the sun-based stuff because it's a plant. King Gambit, solid A tier Pokemon. This thing is really cool.
It's really good. It's really, really good.
I watched Joe wreck people with Terra Fire weakness policy. King Gambit.
Heck yeah!
It was awesome. Link alone, get out of here. Scovillain.
I think this thing's super underexplored.
We'll see more of this thing as the meta develops. Right now, grass isn't that great, so it's not that great.
I'm gonna play around with it. I think this Pokemon's really underexplored.
Squawkabilly, no. Meowscarda, yeah.
It's a solid A, I would say. I think a lot of people are playing it, and I think it's like there's a reason. Like it's really good.
Part of why Meowscarda is so good is because of its just like flower trick. It's just like I'm a crit you, and it's
Urshifu.
It's because Dondozo is so popular. It's a lot of people's Dondozo answer if they're not playing Murkrow. That's why you see it so much. I think if Dondozo goes away, Meowscarda drops in play. Like 100%. I think once Dondozo's like pushed, if Dondozo ever gets pushed out of this format, Meowscarda's total play is going to drop like a rock.
I'm just saying the true Dondozo answer is Unaware Skeledirge. I'm just throwing that out there.
You have to Terra Grass then.
I mean that's fine because then you resist everything.
Well, unless they're carrying like ice.
You can Terra.
Well, you don't resist Order Up.
Yeah, Terra Fairy makes you immune, but then you take wave crashes. Skeledirge is really good.
Skeledirge is. Yeah, we'll get to Skeledirge. It's down here somewhere.
Good. Subaru sucks. Electrode sucks.
Fortress.
Quillfish is like the 7th best Intimidator.
Yep. Donphan's not that great. Stantler carries Eviolite, not that great. T-Tar, there we go.
T-Tar's underwhelming. I also think it's under. I think a big problem with T-Tar is there's like a bunch of Pokemon in S tiers that all just kind of check it.
The thing is, it's like T-Tar wants to stay rock, and like Garchomp eats you, Goldango eats you. Like
Armarouge turns grass and eats you. Dondozo eats you. Hydreigon beats you up because they have Flash Cannon.
Yeah, it's just not
Annihilate
good.
blows you up. It's just like there's so many checks to it. It's really unfortunate.
Yeah, but when it does do its thing, T-Tar gets to kind of run rampant, right?
At least you're immune to like prankster parting shots.
Until you tear into rock, yeah.
That's the best I got for T-Tar. I do think it's better than we give it credit for, but it's just no one's playing it right now.
Raichu's going to be good as long as these rain teams start to develop, because rain's going to bring more electric types. Electric types are going to be...
There you are. Oops.
You lost me.
I turned my headphones down on accident.
Oh, good job. As I was saying, Raichu's is a good pick right now. It is fast, fake out, nuzzle, all that fun stuff. Eerie Impulse, I think, is still a thing for it. I'm not quite sure. But I think Raichu and Palmot are going to kind of try to fill the same role. So I'm just going to grab it. I think they're going to try and fill the same role. They're really similar. One's Lightning Rod, so it depends on like how you want to play at the team. If you like the fighting coverage that Palmot gives you, it'll probably get the nod. If you like just being a pure electric type, Raichu will get the nod.
You also get Double Shock. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Palmot has Double Shock, which is really, really good.
It's a really powerful attack.
Base 120, you lose your electric typing.
Which then you can bring back with Terra.
If you are Terra, you will not lose your electric typing.
Yeah.
That's the key to it. Use it multiple times. Is you have to be an electric type.
You also have base 105 speed. You have Revival Blessing, which is just bananas.
You can Oko Murkrow through Eviolite with Double Shock.
Bananas.
You
also get Iron Fist.
Yeah.
Do you have anything cool boosted by Iron Fist?
Thunder Punch. Drain Punch.
Mach Punch.
Bullet Punch?
No Bullet Punch. Just Mach.
Any other elemental punches? Hammer Arm?
Fire, Ice, Mach, Thunder.
Neat.
That's all the punches.
So no Drain Punch?
No Drain Punch.
That's weird.
Is Arm Thrust boosted by Iron Fist?
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, it's not good, so like, who cares? Man, I want Slaking to be good, and unfortunately, it's just not.
It does the thing with Grafaiai. We'll put them next to each other.
Sure.
Hariyama.
Like, you hit really hard once, and that's about it.
Yep.
Hariyama, I think, is very good.
It's starting to trend upwards again. Facade, gut stuff starting to tick up. Fake Out's becoming more popular again because you now know where the covert cloaks are at.
Because you are, like, Flame Orb, you just are immune to Spore and like Thunder Waves and all that are running around too.
Yeah,
and I think that's a really big deal. Yeah,
you either click detect or redirect. It's one of those two.
Or just fake out Amon and just be like, yeah, I don't care.
None of these are good. Get out of here. Get out of here. No. Hey, look, probably like the 6th best Intimidator.
Still better than Quillfish.
Vespiquen, Floatzel, Drifbloom's cool.
Drifbloom is really cool.
I don't think Drifbloom's great. I think Drifbloom's cool.
You get Unburden, you get Strength Sap, you get Flare Boost, which is interesting. I really want to try to do Flare Boost things one of these days, but unfortunately it's just like, if you do that, you're just too slow.
Yeah. Bronzong's kind of cool. It's in the realm of like decent Trick Room Pokemon. One of the cool things is it also can be a sweeper in Trick Room. That's really bulky. I believe you still have access to Body Press, which is important.
You do, yes.
So yeah, like I think Bronzong right now is just underplayed because there's so many just like incidental fire coverage and things like that for other steel types because people are going like Terra Steel Hydreigon or Terra Fire Hydreigon, so it gives it problems. But
you also have like Levitate and Heat Proof are both very good.
so you
I
can kind of
wish
flip flop.
I think you can go like Heat Proof and then like Terra Flying is not like the stupidest thing because then you have like more resistance and immunities, but I don't know. I think it's fine. I think Spiritom's really sick, and I think it's like I know it had it top aided Nino's tour this weekend.
Yes, it did. We were going to talk about that here. Spiritomb gets Trick Room now as well.
It previously didn't.
It
That's
did not
really
before,
sick.
so this is a huge boon to Spiritomb in particular.
For sure. That's a really good buff.
It was always weird that it didn't have it. Abomasnow.
Correct.
Abomasnow is probably one of the best ice types in the game.
It's like the second best weather setter in the game.
Yeah. Next to Torkoal.
Yep.
Aurora Veil's really good. Snowscape boosts your defense, and you can just Terra Water and go away from your fire type weakness. What's not to hate about Abomasnow? You get to spam Blizzard still. I don't see a problem here. Weavile, it's very niche. Magnezone, it's very niche. Dugtrio's not good. Persian, not very good. Golduck, not very good. Arcanine. I would put Arcanine probably in the B tier. Mainly because you're kind of forced into Flash Fire or Justified.
Man, it's so crazy how much like Intimidates has just dropped.
Yeah, when Intimidate just doesn't do anything, Pokemon that have Intimidate that were primarily doing that aren't that great.
Yep.
I still think Arcanine's a good Pokemon. It's just not an A tier or an S tier like it was before.
Agreed.
Now you're like Terra Grass with Flash Fire. This is the best you're gonna do.
Yep.
Slowbro, not very good. Muck, when we get a Lola Muck, it'll be good, but a regular Muck's not that great. Hypno, no. Palafin, solid. Palafin's a solid A.
It's really cool. I really like it.
I wouldn't call it meta defining because it's kind of just like I need a water type, slap it on here.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really good when it does its thing.
Agreed.
Titan is a strong Pokemon. Titan
It's like
Abomasnow kind of
Abomasnow's
just
best friend.
yeah, you kind of just lock arms with these two bulky ice types and kind of just walk down the road with them. They go hand in hand with each other. If you're playing Abomasnow, you're probably playing Titan because Titan benefits a ton from the changes to snow. Cyclizar, I haven't seen this thing at all.
It's a singles Pokemon. There's a reason you haven't seen it.
Cloth's not good, but Revaroom's not that great. Spidops is garbage. Balooza's not that good. Wugtrio's not that good. Ditto's not that good. Let's do. You want to talk about Skeledirge?
All right, that's fine too.
I think Skeledirge is solid A for sure.
I think Skeledirge is not nearly as played as I want it to be.
It needs to be played more, in my opinion. Unaware, Terra Grass, or Terra Ghost, or whichever one you want. Torch Song, just mow people down. Slap Assault Vest on this thing, or lefties. This thing will just take care of the game for you. It's a great late game sweeper.
For sure.
On the same subject of starters, Quaquaval's starting to tick up in usage as well.
I think it's a solid like C tier right now, but I can definitely see this going up. For sure.
If it keeps doing well and it keeps getting performances, Moxie is starting to like come really cool. If you slap Clear Amulet on this thing, there's no Intimidate to take away your Moxie boosts. You kind of just get to start sweeping.
Yep.
You also have, I think you have access to Bulk Up too, which is really, really good with this thing. So you like redirect turn 1, slap a Bulk Up with it. Now you're +1 attack and defense. You hit something with Aqua Step, you're +1 speed. You kind of just get to start snowballing.
Yep, agreed. It's really cool.
Tinkaton. Man, I just don't like this. I just don't see this thing doing well anymore.
I want it to be good, and it's not.
Yeah, it's just not very good.
Which
Fake
is
Out's cool.
unfortunate.
Mold Breaker's cool. Gigaton Hammer hits like a freaking freight train.
Yep.
But Toads are cruel. Last one. This thing's probably a solid B.
I would agree. I would agree with that.
Mycelium Mite is interesting because it lets you do things that grass types normally can't do.
Mm-hmm.
Like Spore Gudra, Spore Goldango. That's the big one. Is you get to ignore good as gold.
Yep, it's really cool, man.
The other guarantee is like you get a turn of guaranteed sleep next turn. Like there's no like sleeping them to try to deny something. You just say next turn you're going to sleep. You're going to sleep for that turn. Not doing anything. Cool, you set up your trick room. I just put you to sleep. I'm gonna reset it. Because it gets access to trick room. This thing is nutty.
Yep. It's so cool. I love it. I love it so much.
Okay. We have our list. Anything you see that glaringly is obvious that you want to change? You want to move stuff up, down before we lock it in?
Man, there's so many things in D tier, but like I also think that's correct.
Like that not all Pokemon are winners.
Correct. I'm not disagreeing with that. I think it's fine. I think I'm pretty happy with how it is.
Yeah, like this seems fine. Like it's how the bell curve works, right? It's like there's a small S, there's a decent A, there's more B's than A's, there's more C's than B's, there's more D's than everything else because that's just kind of how the curve works.
Yep,
I like it. And then obviously all of our banned Pokemon.
Yep. Which if we're ranking them, we're not. I'm not getting into.
We're not going to get into that. We've already been going for an hour and a half. Okay, let's knock out Team of the Week here because this team was a hoot.
This was Jay's team. Jay and Aaron's team.
Yeah, with Arbolivia and Oranguru and
Torkoal.
And Torkoal and all that stuff.
Did I send it to you?
You did.
How long ago was that?
I don't know.
I found it. Okay, so this team's super cool. So we have Arboliva plus Oranguru plus Torkoal plus House of Mouse. You get to do a lot of really cool things, man. So the big thing here is like Oranguru being able to apply just a ton of pressure means that like you just get to do so much. Like the fact that your mental herb plus inner focus means that it's almost a guaranteed trick room by itself. And on top of that, like because you have instruct, you get to instruct like any of your powerful attackers to get to do your thing immediately.
Yeah. It's insane.
It's really good. And again, I'm going to say it, super underexplored. Yeah.
I would say that. It is very underexplored. Overall, though, like, what did you think of, like, the Choice Band Dragapult? The fast mode, I would say, of this team.
So, if I remember correctly in playing this, like, King Gambit felt really underwhelming. It just, like, I never really had a game where it was good to bring, it felt like. It was just like, man, it feels really awkward on this team as well, being Defiant, because, like, nothing on your team cares about Intimidate, except for exactly Mousehold, which is like, all right, well, if that's the case, like, this is just gonna, like, follow me and die. Like, that's fine. So, it might be interesting to swap from Defiant to, like, Supreme Overlord.
Yeah, I could see that.
And just be like, all right, well, Trick Room is down. This is my late game sweeper. Bring this in and just, like, sucker punch things to death.
Like this could be like, I got to set up my second Trick Room, but I lost my original sweep. I lost my Torkoal. King Gambit comes in.
I'm actually... How fast is King Gambit? 55, is that right? 50.
I think it's 50.
So, like, if you go max speed, you get to 112. So, with Scarf, you get to 170, 173?
Sounds about right.
I mean, that's still pretty freaking fast.
Yeah, that's faster than all base 100s. It's faster than Garchomp.
So, like, I mean, I don't hate the idea of, like, dropping Swords Dance into Citrus Berry and be like Supreme Overlord Choice Scarf. I obviously I'm not like.
I think it could also just be
sold on
fine as a bulky Pokemon. Like, you don't have to invest in your speed for this thing.
that. Yeah, that's very true too. Just like the biggest problem I had with it is just like every time I brought it, it just felt like it immediately died.
So
that's probably just in like the way I was playing it is the problem with it.
Yeah, like I mentioned it when we were talking about it in the tier list thing. It's just like I watched Joe wreck people with a Terra Fire Weakness Policy King Gambit. Like, you are bulky enough to take most super effective hits that are just a 2-time super effective hit. So, like, going to this Weakness Policy Supreme Overlord set could be good.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of just like, this is just a sweeper. Like, this is just going to come in at the end of the game after you've dealt with Dragapult or Torkoal or whoever, and I'm going to just punch you with Kowtow Cleave or Iron Head. Thanks for crocking my policy.
One of the teams I've been playing has AV King Gambit on it.
That's
and that
kinda
felt
neat.
really cool. You're just like, you get to, be super bulky, and then it's running, instead of Swords Dance and like Terra Blast, you have Kowtow Cleave and Brick Break. So like you win the mirror that way.
That makes sense. Plus, it's like extra things for Grimmsnarl to kind of just like, did you just beat it up that way? That would break the screens and all that. That's nice.
Yeah, it was really cool. But yeah, I mean, this seems fun. I really enjoy this team. I got to instruct Dragapult Dragon Darts once, which was really cool.
Oh, I bet that was awesome.
Because like the way my opponent led was like a way of like setting Trick Room of their own. So I'm just like, all right, cool. I'm not gonna set Trick Room because like I anticipate them in doing so. It's like, so Mousehold will get to do its thing. We'll get to Population Bomb something, and then I'll get to yawn their Trick Room setter, and then Trick Room will go up. I'll get to bring in my sweeper and clean up game. And instead they just attacked. I'm just like, oh, well, this is really awkward now. It's like, all right, well, here's Dragapult, I guess.
Here's Dragapult quadruple Dragon Darts.
Because Trick Room is not up, Dragapult's now the fastest thing. It's just like, well, we had to double that thing to try to take care of it. I take out one thing with Dragapult. No, they swap out because I yawned them. It's like, oh, this is really good.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, here's my Dragon Darts, and here's my second Dragon Darts, and also this is Terra boosted. And it's just like, it was obviously a double KO. It's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was cool.
This team was super fun to look at. I got to watch pretty much all the games that you sent me of it while I was editing, and a lot of them looked a whole lot of fun. Shout out
the
to
first
Jay.
game in the laddering video is by far one of the craziest games I've played in a while.
Yeah.
And my opponent got so incredibly unlucky. I did not deserve to win that game, and yet I did.
Rental code is on screen for those that would like to have it and try this out. This team
huge shout outs to Jay and Aaron for putting this one together.
Yeah.
This team was super, super fun.
That brings us to the last segment of today, which is Guess That Mystery Mon. You got somebody lined up for us today?
I do. Again, huge shout outs to Aaron for helping me with this. I don't know if you've been on Discord, but after we started recording, I'm just like, oh, we don't have one already.
Yeah, you're supposed to be on top of that, Carter.
Look, man, today was a stressful day. The car I drove almost died on me half an hour from home. So, like, it's been a day.
Yeah. But who was it last week?
So last week, if I can find the things again, this is the Pokemon is able to learn Tailwind for the first time. This is one of two Pokemon with this type combination, one of which is flying, and this Pokemon's level up moveset is smaller than Magikarp's. And that last one by itself should be able to pretty much give it away. This is Delibird.
Santa Claus himself.
RTT 4 champion Delibird.
Yep. The two moves that Delibird learns by level up are Present and Drill Peck.
Yep.
Ice Flying is only shared by Articuno.
The important part there is it's level up moveset, not moveset.
Yeah, it's level up.
Which I think is what got a lot of people, because like Delibird has a really good moveset.
Yeah.
So it's just like, man, how does this thing learn Tailwind but also have not very many moves? And it's like, well, that's because there's a very important word there you're missing.
Yeah, you're skipping over it. I saw a lot of people guess, like I saw Pavilion as a guess.
Mm-hmm.
There was a couple other weird ones that under normal circumstances probably would have been pretty close, but a lot of the typing thing threw a lot of people off.
Let me pull up the old TikTok and see what it says.
While we're looking at that stuff, we should plug our TikTok, which has been doing fairly well.
Yeah, TikTok's been great, man. Granted, we only have 2 videos up, but this week's Mystery Mon video has twice as many views as last week's.
So we're doing something right.
And, I mean, it has, about a third as many likes. I mean, about 4/3 as many likes.
4/3?
Look, man, that's one way of saying it, okay? There was a lot of Watch Rolls guessed.
Yeah, Watch Roll is also shared by Zapdos and Emolga.
Yep. And it has like a pretty decent move pool too, right?
Yeah, it's got a very big learn set compared to Delibird.
For Murkrow, I'm just like, nah. Skarmory was guessed. Pavilion.
The thing is Skarmory is not in Gen 9.
Yep, which...
So...
yeah, well, look, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, go check us out on TikTok. It's at Littleroot Lessons. It's great, and yep. I've been having a lot of fun editing and making these. So
that all being said, who's this week's Pokemon?
Well, see, this week's Pokemon. So 3 hints as always. Hint number 1: this Pokemon learns a move of every type except for Dragon and Fighting. That is obviously like counting out Terra Blast, because Terra Blast is technically a normal type. Like, technically, by all accounts, it is a normal type attack.
Yep.
Hint number 2: using only a Pokemon's stats, ability, and typing, this Pokemon has the strongest Fake Out.
So that should narrow down the pool a lot, because...
so you know it learns Fake Out.
You know it learns Fake Out, and we mentioned that it uses its typing to do it too. So
Correct.
That should narrow it down even more.
And finally, this Pokemon's evolution line is the only one with multiple regional forms.
Okay. So that should definitely narrow it down. If nobody's figured it out
100%. 100%. So yeah, I'm excited for people to get this one down in the comments.
Yeah.
Because boosting the comment ratio means that we get more algorithm boost and all that good stuff.
Yep.
How did this week's do on the old YouTube?
Not that great.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Comparatively, it's like 0.001% of what the last one did.
Dude, the last one blew up, which, like, I'm all for it.
It's the first one. It's going to blow up. The second one, not so much. Unfortunate, but that's what it is.
It is what it is. It's fine.
But
I do want to plug a couple other things, like, on the way out here. We had our collab with The Game Corner this past week.
Yes.
Go check them out. They are fantastic. Harrison's fantastic. Rowan is amazing. And unfortunately,
Sheldon, but
yeah, Sheldon was too busy watching the game. Like obviously he was also sick, but like I'm gonna say he was just too busy watching the game. So
yeah.
Go check them out. They are fantastic, and it was really great getting to sit down and talk to them and everything last week. So,
and you also have another collab coming up sometime this week that you did.
It's
supposed to be this
might be. I'm not sure on the exact release date of it. But yeah, I did a collab with Flycon HG over on his Twitch channel. It was a fantastic experience getting to work with Mati. I've been following his content since forever. Like basically, like since he started doing YouTube content, I've been following him.
Mm-hmm.
Like legitimately, I think I've watched every one of his Nuzlocks. So it was a absolute blast to get to go hang out and just mess around with him for like 4 or 5 hours. Yeah. So let's see. I'm not sure when that video will officially be live. I'm anticipating probably next week, maybe, hopefully. I don't know. But of course we'll plug it on all of our socials and everything when it goes live.
When it goes up, yeah. You'll know it when it happens.
Correct. And I think that brings us to the end of 146?
Yes.
Yes, 146.
As he just breaks everybody's eardrums by breaking the sound barrier.
Look, man. You'll fix it in post.
Nah, I'm going to leave that one in just to get people.
Just take that section and leave it unedited.
Yeah. Come here.
But yeah, let's get out of here and do all the plugs and stuff and call it a day, because I'm hungry and I'm tired. So
I don't know if I'm making dinner anymore. It's like 8 o'clock.
You'll
time,
be
so I
fine.
Might be, well, it's going to take me a minute, so it might be takeout night.
Yeah, well. But yeah, you can always go ahead and drop us a like and a sub and drop us a 5-star review on all those platforms that you can do so. I haven't seen any new ones on Apple, so like I can't say that I'm gonna read reviews from Apple if no one's doing it. Just saying. Also, you can find us on Audible now.
Yeah, I did a lot of work over after the Game Corner podcast. I got us on Amazon, I got us on Audible, I got us on iHeartRadio, and Sirius XM, I think, is currently in the works, because so,
we're basically on every platform you can be at this point.
Every big one, yeah.
Yeah, I said the same thing. But yeah, just Carl doing a lot of work in the background, because it got brought up as a joke, and then Carl's like, yeah, we're on there now.
Yeah, I'm gonna find out.
So that was cool. So yeah, go follow us on all the platforms and boost our algorithm stuff and make us feel good. We might be the only Pokemon podcast on Amazon Music.
Maybe, I don't know.
I genuinely don't know. I've never touched it before. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Go follow us on TikTok. Follow us on Twitch. Let's see. Twitter, you can do at LR Lessons. Myself at Mr. Missouri 25. Carl's at Musical VGC. You can follow us over on Twitch as well at Mr. Missouri 25 and at Musical. Yep. Like I said, you can follow us on TikTok as well at Littleroot Lessons. Right now it's one video a week because that's what I have time for. If we ever get more time to actually do stuff, it'll get boosted. But till then, cool.
Website.
Yeah, thank
Discord.
you. Go ahead and check out the website at lrlessons.com. While you're over there, you can check out the merch page, pick you up some sweet merch, and check out all the written articles and everything we have up there. We haven't had anything for a while, but if you're an aspiring writer and want to talk about Series 1 of Pokemon, by all means, reach out to us. We're always looking for people to post stuff.
Yeah.
If you want to support us but don't want to pick up merch, because I get it, it's expensive, you can always go down to Anchor, and for as little as 20 or 25 cents an episode, you can support us and help pay for my car.
Or my new chair.
Yeah, true. Carl got a new chair. We didn't talk about it.
My old chair broke, and so now I have this nice, pretty one.
And as always, everyone, come and join the community Discord where you can hang out with us and get involved in all of our sweet tournaments and everything that we should be starting up sometime in probably the next month. And all that good
Dojo's
stuff.
going on right now.
Huge shout outs to Aaron for putting all that together, as always.
I know we're looking at getting our circuit back up and running at the start of January, so keep your eyes peeled for that stuff.
For sure. So, I think that is going to be it for 146.
Yep.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching, and until next week, we will see you then. Have a good one. Peace.